Scrum Masters Elite _UK, deep insights into rugby, passion, perseverance. Don't forget to subscribe. In elite sports, people often talk extensively about victory, titles, and fame, yet rarely mention the psychological pressure, the loneliness, or the silent moments behind the spotlight. When a coach leaves a team, it is not merely a job change. Sometimes it also means learning to accept transition, learning to reflect on oneself, and waiting patiently for another opportunity. That is why Susie Appleby's return to Barbarian FC is not simply a professional announcement. To me, it represents the image of someone who has managed to keep the flame of passion alive despite going through countless challenges in her career. I was especially impressed when she shared that she grew up watching the Barbarians play, and had always considered the black and white jersey a symbol rich in rugby tradition. That statement made me think deeply about the value of childhood memories and the power of dreams nurtured from an early age. In modern life, people are often swept away by achievements and immediate benefits so quickly that they forget the original reason they fell in love with something in the first place. But in Susie Appleby, I can clearly sense sincerity.
She did not speak about power or prestige in leading the Barbarians. Instead, she spoke about honor, love for the free-flowing style of play, and the joy of working with some of the best players in the world. This made me realize that true passion does not lie in how many achievements one attains, but in whether, after everything, one's heart still feels moved by what they are doing. Some people achieve tremendous success yet gradually lose their original emotions, while others, despite many ups and downs, retain the same excitement they had on the very first day. And those are often the people who inspire others the most. In modern sports, tactics are becoming increasingly complex, calculations more precise, and the pressure for results heavier than ever. Yet deep down, what moves fans the most is still the freedom, emotion, and creativity of sport itself. A thrilling match is not exciting only because of the scoreline, but because of the courage to play boldly, to give everything, and to express individuality. I think this is not only true for rugby but also for life.
Too many people live in fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of being different. Gradually, they choose safety to the point that they lose their own identity. When I heard Susie Appleby talk about encouraging players to play to their fullest, I felt that it was not merely a sporting philosophy, but also a beautiful philosophy of life. Human beings truly shine only when they are allowed to be themselves and fully develop their abilities in a positive environment. Another point that made me reflect deeply was the presence of Sarah Hunter as assistant coach. Her journey is truly admirable. An athlete who earned 141 caps for England over 16 years of international competition certainly could not have achieved that through talent alone. Behind that number lies discipline, perseverance, sacrifice, and a mental toughness that very few people can sustain for such a long period of time. What I appreciate even more is that after retiring, Sarah Hunter did not choose to walk away from rugby but instead continued contributing through coaching. That demonstrates genuine love for the sport.
Many people believe that the greatest glory of an athlete exists only while competing on the field, but I believe the greater value lies in whether they can pass on their experience, spirit, and inspiration to the next generation. Sarah Hunter is doing exactly that. In today's society, young people are often influenced by the mindset of seeking quick success. They want fame early, immediate results, and they become discouraged easily when facing difficulties. But Sarah Hunter's journey shows that true greatness is built over a very long period of time. 16 years of continuous dedication to the national team cannot be created through only a few explosive moments. It is the result of countless quiet days of training and constant self-improvement. I also found it very meaningful to see the partnership between Susie Appleby and Sarah Hunter described with respect and friendship. In the fiercely competitive environment of sports, people often focus on rivalry, competition for positions, and personal ego. But here, I see companionship and connection between two women who share the same passion for rugby.
This gives me a positive feeling because it shows that success does not necessarily have to be built on negative competition. Talented people can still work together with mutual respect and trust. Another aspect that truly made me reflect is the increasingly important role of women in professional sports. In the past, many sports were often regarded as arenas primarily for men. Even talented women had to face countless barriers regarding opportunity, recognition, and social prejudice. But this story shows that things are gradually changing in a more positive direction. The fact that two women are taking on important roles in a traditional team like the Barbarians is not only professionally significant but also symbolic of the progress of modern sports. It sends the message that ability and dedication matter far more than gender. I believe this is a very valuable lesson for society as a whole. A community that wishes to develop sustainably must know how to provide equal opportunities for everyone and evaluate people based on their talent, character, and real contributions.
What I admire most about the spirit of the Barbarians is their international nature and multicultural connection. This team does not simply represent one specific country, but instead brings together people from many different rugby cultures. I find that especially beautiful in a world that still contains so much division over politics, ethnicity, and ways of life. Sports can sometimes achieve things that many other fields struggle to accomplish. They help people sit together, cooperate with one another, and move toward shared values. When Sarah Hunter spoke about combining different styles and experiences from players around the world, I could clearly feel the profound humanistic meaning of sport. Difference does not necessarily create distance. If people know how to respect one another, differences can become strengths. That is also a major lesson for me personally. In life, there were times when I unconsciously judged others too quickly simply because they thought or lived differently from me. But the more mature I become, the more I understand that no one possesses the entire truth. Every person has their own story, circumstances, and perspective. Learning to listen and learning to cooperate with people who are different is incredibly important if we want to grow as individuals. In an era when people spend more and more time on phones and social media, communal experiences like these become especially valuable. They remind us that genuine emotions still exist in real life. A stadium filled with spectators is not only a place where matches take place, but also a place where people find connection and the feeling of belonging to something greater than themselves. Another meaningful aspect is the respect shown toward the history and heritage of the sport. Both Susie Appleby and Sarah Hunter spoke about the Barbarians with immense pride and deep respect. In modern society, the speed of change is sometimes so overwhelming that people forget the value of tradition. But no strong sporting culture can survive without continuity between generations.
History is not merely the past to be retold. It is also the foundation that shapes the identity and spirit of the present. When coaches and players truly understand the value of the jersey they wear, they compete with a greater sense of responsibility. The same is true in life. Every person should understand and appreciate the values that shaped who they are, from family and homeland to the people who once helped them grow. The final lesson I take for myself is this: true success does not lie in how many people know your name, but in whether you still preserve a sincere love for what you pursue. Seeing the excitement Susie Appleby has for a new opportunity and the way Sarah Hunter continues contributing after retirement made me realize that the greatest value of a person lies in their spirit of continuous contribution. Not everyone may become a famous athlete or coach, but everyone can learn to live with greater dedication toward their work and responsibilities. If each person worked with sincerity, respected others, and always maintained a willingness to learn, society would certainly become far more positive.
Keep the passion alive, honor the values, and inspire. See you at Scrum Masters Elite _UK.